Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. We are back with another mod on the Frontier, and today will be something on the inside. This is something that I didn't really have in mind to buy for the truck, but a few guys have mentioned in the comments saying order these up and see what I think. Now what it is these guys right here from Z1 Offroad. It is their seat risers. They're 1 inch. I can confirm you now do get stickers from Z1 Offroad, so we can add those onto the truck. But basically what this is in here, and you'll see more once I get it out and install it, is 2 little seat risers for the front drivers or passengers. So you can get them for both sides, they do work. But in my case, I'm just going to do it on the driver's side. And it lifts up the front portion of your seat. So I'm going to show you how to install these and give you my opinion of them, whether they're worth it or not. They're not super expensive, but honestly, for what they are, just a little block of aluminum, I think they're a little bit overpriced, but it is what it is. We'll get it on the truck and you guys can decide for yourself if you want to add it to your truck or not. All right, so we'll give a little rundown before we get these on. It's kind of hard to explain it in video and show you, but basically when you lift the seat up, because I'm about 6 foot, but I like to sit a little bit higher up. So my seat is not all the way as far down as it'll go. But when you're sitting on these seats and you lift it up a little bit, it's like this portion comes up, but this kind of just pivots. So say the seat's like that, it'll lift up kind of like this, and that portion stays down. So not the end of the world, but when you're up here now, you kind of feel like you're going to slide off, almost like your seat is pointing downhill. So what these are going to do is they're going to go right here and basically lift this side up that 1 inch. Now keep in mind, I don't come in here and look at the floor every single time I get in the truck, but you will have a 1 inch gap here because you're going to be lifting this the 1 inch. So if you don't want it to be able to get stuff in under there and all that, you can either make an extra piece of trim underneath, or you're out of luck, you got to leave the seat how it is. But pretty much what this is going to do is lift it up, give your legs a little more support, and you won't have that feeling like you're sliding off the seat, which you don't notice too much when you're driving. But off-road, when you start going down the steep declines and stuff like that, you do feel like you're getting pulled off the seat a little bit. So we'll see if this makes a difference. But first things first, we're going to get the dirty mat out of there. And then right here, you can see I got this one kind of popped off already. These just come out like that, and you got a bolt there. Same idea on that side, it's under the little cap, and then 2 in the back. The back you have to loosen just so the seat can pivot a little bit. The front has to come right out because obviously the blocks are going to go in place. All right, now before we get them on there and get started, the actual parts themselves. Obviously you get 2 blocks in the kit, so if you want to do passenger and driver, you'll need to order 2 sets. But we got one, we're just doing the driver. Got your Z1 Offroad logo on the side. It is just a solid block of aluminum with holes drilled out to mount it. Now, you have your bottom hole here, your slightly smaller top hole there. The bottom hole is what will mount onto the floor of the truck, and you'll use the supplied hex bolts to bolt that onto the truck. 33 foot-pounds if you're a torque guy. Otherwise, just make them tight. And of course, that goes on the bottom. The top hole here is the stock bolt that you take out that's holding the seat down onto the truck right now. We'll rethread into the further back hole. And then you do have these little other smaller hex bolts. They say that's for future stuff. You got the 2 bolt holes on the front. I guess they're going to make something of some sort at one time that's going to bolt onto the front of these, maybe a molly panel or something like that, and that'll be where you put those. So it's up to you. You can leave them open, or if you don't want to lose the bolts, just thread them in, tighten them down. You won't really know they're there. And then the rumors are true. You do get a Z1 Offroad sticker in the box finally. So they are starting to add these to their orders. So we'll get one of these on the truck at some point. But for now, let's get the stock bolts out of the truck and get these in place. All right, so it's a little bit of tight quarters in here, but this side, like I said, just has the little trap door. Get your pry tool, pop that open, and that comes off, your passenger side, or passenger side on your driver's seat anyway, just has this little black cap, and you can see it's got the little hex that'll pop back onto that bolt after. So get a pry tool, again, just get under there, pops off easy. And then to remove the front bolts, these are a 15 millimeter. So 15 mil will get on there, grab yourself a ratchet, break them loose, unthread them all the way. Then try to lift up the seat. If you can lift it without having to remove the back at all, awesome. If it won't quite get up or it's too hard, just loosen off the rear two bolts. You'll have to slide the front seat all the way forward to get at them, but it'll let you kind of pivot and give it a little more play. Make your life a little bit easier to get the spacers in there if needed. All right, so we've got the two front bolts out, and I can confirm you'll have to take the back out because it's not that the seat's heavy. You can see you can rock it, you just can't rock it quite enough to actually get a 1-inch space there to get these blocks in. So you'll have to grab the little knob here, and in about 15 years, that seat will be all the way forward, and we can start on the back. Okay, moving to the rear, again, you will have to get your floor mat out of the way. This side, this whole plastic piece just kind of unclips. Get your finger in there, wiggle, pry it up. You may need to get a pry tool right here, but it'll pop off as just clip straight down. And then here, same as the front, you got one of these little latches. Again, maybe I can do it with my nail, not quite. Get a pry tool, pop that out, and then same idea, there'll be a bolt here and a bolt there. Don't take them right out, just loosen them off, and that'll give your seat enough of that pivot to get those spacers in the front. And then this is what it looks like when it's off. If you look underneath, it's got 2 tabs there, 2 tabs there. So when it comes down and clips, it kind of claws around the side like that. It'll hook. So get your fingers around the front and spread it and pull up. And then I put the pry tool underneath the back here because that sits that way over top of there. So spread that out, pull the front up, get your pry tool, just pop in the middle, it lets go. And then as for this side, like I said, just a trap door again. And it was easier to, you got a little gap here. I just put the pry tool behind, pop that out, and then it just comes out just like that. So again, 15 mil on the back, loosen them off, don't take them out, and then we'll get back into the front. Okay, now with the back ones loosened off, just to show you that I'm not lying, because it's going to be too awkward to film and get these in place with one hand, but you can see just how easy it is to lift this seat now. And you can see it's only going to go that far because you haven't taken them completely out, so you don't have to worry about your seat sliding away. But now you got more than enough room to lift this up and get those blocks in. And now again, the blocks will go in with the supplied hardware, these black ones, 33 foot-pounds if you want to torque them, and it is a T50's torque bit. So that will bolt the block down onto the truck first, and then the stock bolts, like I mentioned, go into the back hole here, and it'll bolt the actual seat down to the block. So let's get that in. All right, we got them in. There you go. Passenger side one's there, driver side under here. Again, if you want to torque those bolts down, T50, 33 foot-pounds. Now, before you do this, really all you got to worry about when you're screwing that in is keep that block straight. Other than that, you're just threading in a bolt and tightening it down. So now we can get our stock bolts, which will go back in here. You'll have to adjust slightly. It's just got to go up like that. Reason for that is the back ones are loose, so it does wiggle a little bit. But once you get these two started, like that one's threaded in, started now, do the same thing over there. Then move your seat forward before you torque those down and do the back. That'll make sure when the back goes down, the seat is where it should be initially. And then when you tighten here, now it's at its new spot with that 1-inch rise from the little risers. All right, so install's all done. Everything is back together. As you can see, the blocks just sit under there just like that. Bolt them all down, tighten it up. This side, like I mentioned, will have this gap here now. So you can get stuff under the seat, yes, but it's also easier to get it out and vacuum it up if something's under there. So not the end of the world. And as for seating position, you can see the seats are pretty much in line with the passenger and driver, and this is just slightly over the console here, where passenger is just slightly under. So it's 1 inch. You basically gain that, but I can tell you that this makes a night and day difference. I wasn't really expecting it to really do too much, but with that little bit up like that, it locks you into seat, makes it almost more of like a bucket seat, and it's just comfortable. Your legs are supported, your thighs are up here, you're not too high, but when you're driving, it almost makes you seem like you're higher up, because one, you are a little bit higher, but that's only on the front. The back of the seat stays where I usually had it, but it makes you feel more of like a big truck rather than this mid-size thing here. So again, super easy install, makes quite a difference. If you know someone that has them, go sit in it, and if you want to pick them up for yourself, highly recommended. I'll drop the link down below where you can get your own. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching this one, and hopefully we catch you in the next one.